Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your
hosts,
Mike.
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
So it's just been a little more than a year ago that we moved here, right?
Yeah.
And not too long after we moved here, we didn't do it right away, but not too long after we moved here, I think it was probably around Memorial Day that I would have seen an ad and I probably would have forwarded it to you so you could look at it, etc. But our new place is one story and it's all like, what do you call it?
Vinyl plank.
Vinyl plank, basically. Yeah, it's like, fake wood flooring.
I actually really like it. So.
And it's nice, but it was a pain to keep clean because with, dog, cat, etc., there's hair and it builds up fast. So
we were trying to avoid what happened in our other place where there was like hair tumbleweeds.
yeah.
If we didn't vacuum every single day.
Yeah, it was bad. And so we saw this, Roomba, and they did like a leasing thing where you just paid them a monthly fee, and the thing about it is it's actually a really good deal because it includes the monthly supplies for the damn thing.
Right. And it's like 20 something bucks a month.
So we actually save money.
It includes all of the supplies. It includes the Roomba. It includes a device upgrade every 3 years.
Yeah. And so we've had this thing the whole entire time that we've lived here. When we first got it, we're like, wow, that thing's amazing.
So well.
And I thought it was kind of stupid actually at first because of the mapping process. It just seemed so convoluted. Like, why do they make it go through all this holy hell to map the place? I understand why it should have a map because the dumb ones are just that. They just bounce off the wall all the time. That's a stupid thing to do. But the smart one having a map, that's great. But then how long it took it to map the place.
It didn't take nearly that long the second time.
Right.
It's almost like they've put in a software upgrade since.
Yes, I think they have actually. But back then it took like 4 days to map the entire house, and it would reconfirm the map and then reconfirm the map again.
Right.
And they have cool features in there, like when it does clean now with its map that it has, if it runs into let's say I left my shoes out because I took them off and just kicked them off my feet. Well, if it'll take a picture and then you tell it, oh, that's just a temporary obstacle.
The best thing in the 1 year of having this Roomba was the morning I woke up to pictures of Jasper's butt.
Yes.
It had clearly bumped him multiple times, and he'd moved and gotten bumped again because there was multiple pictures of his butt from multiple angles in multiple different spots in the living room.
Jasper. Of course it would be Jasper. The craziest cat in the land of cats.
Yep.
But that's just funny. But the problem with it is that I don't think the vacuum part, the engineering of the vacuum part, is that fantabulous. It's kind of weak. It has these little wispy things that spin around and pull the dirt in.
It did really well for the first 6 months that we had it.
Yeah, but the last really 6 months, it was a stinker.
Well, and it broke its own map and then decided it had to we have it sitting in the living room on the side of the kitchen island, the living room side. And it decided it had to get to it from the kitchen side of the island.
Yeah.
Therefore, thinking it needed to go through the island.
Yeah, which wasn't possible, unfortunately, for it.
Then we had to delete its whole map, and it worked okay for a couple of days. And then it decided it was going to roam behind the couch and get stuck back there. I guess
Yeah.
that's my fault.
And then it
because
died.
I let it happen. But
And then it died.
it took me forever to find it.
Yeah, I remember I was trying to find the damn thing. It's like, where could it have gone?
Right.
Things escaped. Oh no, AI taking over the world. But there's some things about it that are cool. Like some of the engineering is cool. I suspect that other companies may have done a better job on the vacuum part.
You know what I think? And I said this to you the other day. So when we signed up for this Roomba thing, it's a 2-year contract.
Right.
After the 2 years, then it's month to month, and we can send its ass back and cancel it anytime we want. We have a whole nother year left in this contract. But if we didn't, we might have been considering the no interest financing from a firm getting the Shark Vac Mop Roomba competitor. It mops, it sucks, and it's from Shark, which our experience with Shark has been freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
We've had all those Shark products, and the only one that's died was the mop because Parker ate its cord. That's not its fault.
Well, yeah, 'cause I was going to say, it's not its fault that somebody went cuckoo crazy. You know? The cat went cuckoo crazy.
Yeah. He's a nut.
And apparently he's done it again recently, but
He's trying to destroy my foot spa.
annoying.
I'm going to destroy him with my foot spa.
It's weird. But in any event,
So the Roomba decided it was going to be a huge, colossal piece of crap. And it wasn't going to clean, and it wasn't going to charge, and it was going to send me a notification every morning that it was having a problem.
of some sort.
Simultaneously not giving me any feedback if I'd actually fixed the problem, but then doing the same thing the next day. It's been an infuriating...
Or it would switch its problem the next day.
Right.
And then they'd tell you how to fix that, and you'd fix that, and it'd go back to the old problem.
Right.
It was bound and determined, people, to have a problem.
I'm pretty sure the Roomba had a little Roomba stroke or something like that. Like its little Roomba brain is short-circuiting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But, okay, so the Roomba support. It says you can text or call them.
All right.
Now, about 3 weeks ago, I got a text from Roomba support saying, we got a notification that your Roomba's having a hard time charging. Whatever. I didn't reach out to them. They reached out to me. So I was communicating with them over text.
Oh.
I assumed when they reached out to me that it was their preferred way of being communicated with. Until they just stopped responding. Then I had to call them. Then I was annoyed that I had to call them because they stopped responding to texts. Then the person who replaced our Roomba, now we have a new one that I have to set up.
I'm suspicious of this text you received.
Why?
Why would they reach out to you via a text message and not an email or a phone call?
Because their support is text message based.
But you can't tell that phone number belongs to them.
Yes, I can. It's literally the phone number from the Roomba app where it says get text based support. I verified this before I answered.
All right. Well, then that should have been the answer right away to when I said you can't tell if it's them. But anyway. Go ahead.
Anyway, so whatever. They finally answer me, and then we have another problem with the Roomba. So I text their support. Fucking crickets. 24 hours later, I text them again. Crickets. And so then I called them. I got all annoyed. They decided they're going to replace the Roomba for me because we've been having so many problems. Then...
Whoa. More like you insisted they were going to replace the Roomba. Because she wasn't going to do jack shit unless you tested it all over again.
Well, they could have told me to fuck off.
Well, yes, they could have. But at the same time, that would give you a reason to break your contract.
This
so
is
they're not
not
going to do
a
that.
dig on Nina at iRobot. She was actually very nice.
Yes.
Anyway, go Nina. So then, the customer support person, she says, you'll get the new Roomba. It's coming to your house. Text me if you have any problems setting it up.
Right, well, there's the text again. Exactly.
Okay, so I've been informed to send the text message. So I get the new Roomba, I plug it all in, and they didn't do something right in the app to get rid of the old device and add the new device. Okay, whatever. Shit happens. So I text their support, and I'm like, yo, this. And I get an immediate reply back. It's outside of our normal service hours. We'll get back to you next business day. So then I just move
Right.
on with my life. The entirety of the next business day passes, and then you're like, well, did the Roomba get set up? And I was like, crap, I should have texted them again this morning. They finally got back. Today is the third day. They finally answered me this morning, like while I was still in meetings, so I hadn't had a chance to call them yet. And the person was just like, yo, I did something to fix your account. I'm closing this ticket. Bye. Not, did it work? Not anything. I'm closing this ticket. Bye. Now that's confidence that your solution's going to work, but it's also really irritating.
That isn't indicative, though, of what you've experienced previous. So that could just be a person with an issue. I mean, they are out there.
I've decided every customer support person I've encountered at iRobot except Nina is a buttwad.
All right, and then maybe it is the one. I don't know. I was thinking about the whole texting support, thing and all of that, and how he's like, I fixed it. Bye.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's funny because from the customer's perspective, you went through hell to get somebody to understand well enough what the problem was so that you got to a person who could fix it. Number one, you'd like to have had him wait around for just one more message.
Or even just leave the ticket open. It's texting.
Yeah.
So it uses something like Zendesk.
Yes.
Leave the ticket open for me to respond and confirm that it's working.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. And then, he's got to close it.
That's not how
So now as the customer, you're freaking out because you're going, oh my God, now I got to go through, if this doesn't work, now I got to go through all that crap all over again.
Well, if it doesn't work, I mean, it appears to be properly set up in the app now so that I can add the device.
All right.
If I have any problems with it, I'm just going to call them and be
Just
like,
going to kick their ass.
look here, motherfucker.
Yeah, look here, motherfucker, at them.
Send your shit to my house to fix my Roomba now.
But so, they did send a new one.
Right.
And, she had all the struggles getting it to work. And, and they fixed the app. And all of a sudden, there's probably some setting that didn't go.
Right.
Some script didn't run all the way through. And so it didn't fix the settings. They fixed it. She was able to continue, add the device, etc. And all that worked just fine, I assume.
No, I have to finish setting it up still.
Oh, it's not done yet. Okay.
Everything that I need to set it up is there.
So it'll probably work. And then if it works, then you're in business. And if it doesn't work, you're back to talking to the support people.
We've had a number of discussions, just you and I, that involve maybe we placed the Roomba in the wrong spot and putting it next to the dog bed where it gets Sarist at least once a day was maybe the cause of its little stroke.
Yeah, I think so.
And so we're going to put it in a new spot and we're going to see if the Roomba can get its shit together.
I mean, it can't hurt.
As long as it doesn't spray dog shit all over my house like that one hilarious story I read many, many moons ago.
Well, that's part, I think, of why they don't use like heftier wheels. Because like that's another one of the issues we had with the Roomba was it's not its fault, but when they remodeled this place, they didn't level the floors.
Right.
So, one room's the bedroom and the two bedrooms, well, actually all three bedrooms.
That's all it is
are lower than the rest of the house.
What it
and
is
so
is
it gets in, but it can't get out.
There was carpet in these bedrooms. And they
Yes.
took out the carpet and the underfloor padding, put in the vinyl plank, but didn't put any underfloor padding underneath it
Right.
like a bunch of idiots.
Right. They didn't level it.
But that's okay.
And so then the thing comes into the room and then it can't get out. And so you come out in the morning and it would be completely dead.
Like centered on the ledge.
Like on the middle between the
Yeah.
two rooms, and then that's when we figured out that it had a really cool feature where you could geofence and go, nope, don't go beyond here no matter what. Yes, there's a room over there, but we don't want you going in there.
Right.
It's perfect.
Right.
I mean, there's the technology is just right there. There's just a couple of things they need to fix. But I mean, to me, the ability to upgrade every 3 years was huge because that's worth it.
Right.
But I mean, and like some people say, oh, you're paying a lot, $20 a month. That's a lot to pay. Well,
But remember, itself,
Then
the version we have is $800.
yes, $800. And they're giving us the supplies. We didn't pay a penny for
And
these
I
supplies.
looked it up. And in the year we had it, we got 2 new sets of the rollers that go underneath. We got 2 new sets of that spinny little flimsy thing you said. We got a filter every 3 months, so that's like 4, maybe 5 of them. And then the disposal bags. That shit's expensive. The disposal bags are like $25 for 3. If we had to buy those ourselves, you want to know what I'd be doing? We'd be buying a set of them, and I'd be vacuuming them out with the other vacuum when they got full. Because that's the kind of person I am.
That's funny.
Because F your super expensive bags.
But, I mean, I thought you were going to have I was sitting here waiting with bated breath that you were going to have a total price of what all of that cost. And then you just kind of went, so.
I can't remember now.
I was like, well, all right.
It's a lot, though.
Well, yeah, it sure sounds like a lot. It sure sounds like a lot. I mean, just on the bags alone, it would probably be $50.
Well, you would use about one a month.
Yeah.
So a kit with 3 filters, 1 set of rollers, and 1 of those spinny things is $85 from iRobot. Just the spinny things are $35 from iRobot.
So there's half the cost right there.
Yeah.
They give back to you.
Right.
And that's part of the deal. And then the other half was what we paid for the device, basically.
Right. And granted, we don't own it at the end.
Well, right.
Like if we cancel, we still have
it's
to
a
return
lease.
it. But
it's a lease. I
don't really care because they replaced it for us when it doesn't work. So a lease means they own it, which is nice. Sometimes.
Well, yeah. Like in that situation, when it was broken, we got a new one without any hassle. That was great. I mean, I couldn't have complained about that even a little bit.
When they shipped it out to us and they gave us a return label to ship the piece of shit one back. And
yep. So I think that overall the experience has been a little bit better than mediocre for me. I got annoyed with it so many times where it would get stuck here and stuck there. And you always had your excuse for why it wasn't a problem. There was the thing said this and the thing said that. And I'm just sitting here going, but technology shouldn't act that way.
When it eats a sock, it's not its fault. When
no, it's Parker's fault.
When something gets pushed in front of its dock, it's not its fault.
And it's Bree's fault.
I mean, those are the times that I defend it. Sometimes when the Cyrus would snowstorm one of her toys, i.e. fluff everywhere, it would eat too much fluff, and that would cause it some problems. That would
kill it?
None of those things are things I blame it for.
It's interesting. And I wouldn't be able to think of a solution how to like get around that without having like a super powerful.
You would have to have razor blade teeth and eat everything it runs over.
And then it would hurt somebody.
Also cause a problem.
Well, yeah, because it would hurt somebody, and then people would be sued.
Right.
It'd be a really bad thing.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think it's almost there.
If it would just clean the house every night at 3 a.m. like it's supposed to, and leave me alone, and not cause a whole bunch of ruckuses, it'd be perfect.
But here's the thing. So far, we've determined that it cost us $120 for the year. So it was based because we said it was $240 for the year, and it was about $120 for the whole year for the supplies. So half the money went to supplies, and the other half. So basically, it cost us $240 for the thing, and we got free supplies. Okay, right. But what would have happened if we paid $800 for the stupid thing, like on a credit card? We would have owned the thing, and then we would have had to pay $120 this year on supplies for the damn thing. So we would have spent $920 versus $240.
Well, yeah, because while I may be able to solve the bags being used up with the other vacuum cleaner, I can't solve the rollers wearing out or the none of that.
And that's kind of my point, is like it comes down to you calculate your investment, and we didn't invest enough for it to be a bad deal for us. It was cheap. And we can move. And the best part is, if it was a piece of crap, we could move on.
Right.
Just move on. See ya.
We are dealing with it for 12 more months. And if we're still not happy with it at the end of that 12 months,
then we're moving on.
Shark, here we come.
Yep. I mean, and there was a reason for that. I mean, like she said in the beginning, we have the mop. We've had a Shark vacuum forever. I mean, that thing is just a powerhouse. And it just, you turn it on, guess what it does? It vacuums.
I have to remind you of the experience I had with Shark support. So I bought an upright pet version of the Shark vacuum with the fins on the underneath that don't let hair roll around them because I'm a long-haired shedder. It's like the perfect vacuum for us. And it came with a steam mop. And we spent like $600 on this thing on Black Friday a couple years ago. And I remember now, well, I remembered obviously when this happened like a month ago. Anyway, I remembered that we paid for the extended lifetime warranty. No matter what goes wrong with this thing, as long as you don't use it to suck up water, they will fix it. And I was like, all right, this seems nice. Especially after what happened with the Dyson, where it was amazing and then something kind of went wrong.
And then it was not amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, so then here I am, happily vacuuming around in the corners of our bedroom, you know, with the hair dust bunnies we've had since the Roomba hasn't been functioning. And I rounded the corner with the vacuum hose and I sucked up one of your bulkier socks. And then I go to the Google and I'm like, how do I get this sock out of here? I can't reach it. Tongs don't fit, whatever. It says to try to put the thing over a broom handle and push it out the other side. So I tried that. Well, let me tell you, the thickness of the sock did not allow for that. It just lumped it into a giant ball that I could then not get out of the thing at all. So I'm like, well, I'm going to call Shark support. Maybe they have a trick. Maybe there's a way to unscrew this hose. Maybe there's something. Maybe they can tell me who the Shark authorized person is to fix my vacuum so that I don't invalidate my warranty, whatever. The dude takes me through all this troubleshooting. He even got me on a video chat so I could show him the sock stuck in the hose. He's like, I see. I'm like, yeah, you see, buddy.
I love it.
He's like, well, if you can't get it out, the only thing I can think of is to send you a whole brand new hose attachment. They effing sent me a whole brand new hose attachment because I'm a dipshit who sucked up a freaking sock. And then
but there's an argument that can be made that inside of that hose they could have put a block so that it couldn't suck in a sock.
But then it wouldn't suck up the dirt as well.
Well, it could, because you could make the grid pretty big. It doesn't have to be a super teeny tiny little grid.
But still, I mean, come on now. I did not, even you didn't expect them to send me a new one.
I'm just saying there's an argument that could be made. That's all. Just plain devil's advocate.
Here, I thought I was going to have to pay $85 for a new hose or find a vacuum repair person to extract this effing sock out of there.
Right. But it is what it is. I mean, I've learned, as I've gotten older, I've learned that there's just some things you just don't scream and yell about. It's like, it just is what it is. You move on. You take the loss. That's it.
Well, but I guess my entire point of sharing this story with our lovely listeners is that Shark has much better support than Roomba.
Well, it does. And our experience just overall with the products has been
much better.
Extremely positive.
Have we ever had a negative experience with that vacuum cleaner outside of the sock that was my fault entirely?
No.
I didn't think so.
And the sock wasn't even really a negative experience. I mean, you knew it was going on.
It was very stressful. It's
not like you thought it wasn't working and then, oh my gosh, I found out I sucked up a sock. Now, you did not. Yeah. You knew what happened.
You know what's the worst part? If it was one of my socks I had inadvertently sucked up, it would have caused no issues at all. But because it was one of your massively bulky, basic man, super thick socks that you rarely ever wear, of course, it had to be that sock.
Yeah. I mean, that's, it's part of Murphy's Law.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
Have we beat the vacuum
cleaner? I think we beat the vacuum cleaner to death. And we've kind of inadvertently promoted another product that we really weren't going to promote, but that's okay because we always like to tell the truth, and that is the truthful experience of what we've had. So, there you go.
Good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.